Okay, hello everyone, I'm back here with the tutorial. This is going to be a small one, I hope. This tutorial is on the Gnome Shell. This is based on the Gnome Cheat Sheet that is available on their website. So let me tell you that quickly that I'm running Rebellin Adrenaline, and this is the Gnome Shell 3.4 version. And actually Adrenaline gives you some extensions pre-installed. Let me show them to you quickly. You get a lot of extensions that are pre-installed to improve your Gnome Shell environment and improve your productivity. There, I got a lot of these extensions that come pre-installed, but I've got them all turned off because I'm going to make this cheat sheet on the stock version of Gnome. So Gnome, I don't care what you call it. So this cheat sheet is going to be on the stock version of Gnome Shell, so that people who are using Gnome Shell as it is, let's say Fedora users, they can benefit with this small tutorial. So let me just close this app for the time being. I'm running a few apps here just for demonstration purposes, so that I can show you what you can do with all the shortcuts that I'm going to tell you right now. And alright, so let's begin. Well, first of all, I'm running the Gnome Shell. This is not the latest version. The tweaks that I'm going to tell you are applicable on all versions of GNOME, but some of them might get outdated as GNOME improves and they release a new version every time. For example, in the latest version of Gnome Shell, you got a power off button over here. I don't have that because this is the 3.4 version. The current version has got a power off button here. Okay, I'm closing that menu. So, well, first of all, we'll start the cheat sheet right now. I'm going to show you a shortcut. It's called AltTab. With AltTab, you can just move around these windows. You can just cycle through the applications that are open. You can select anyone. Let's say I would like to start System Monitor, so I'll just go. Okay, there it pops up. I can cycle through them. There, LibreOffice Writer pops up, and Firefox pops up. So you can cycle through apps this way. If you wish to cycle through the windows of a single app, there you gotta press Alt and the key that is above your tab button. It's the tilde symbol on my computer. Just click on that and you can cycle through the windows, something like this. Okay, you got a YouTube pop up, and I can cycle, and I can go to Rebellin website. Now there's something I need to tell you, that this Alt and the key that is above your tab button, that it doesn't cycle through the windows, the tabs in Firefox. It only cycles through windows. So if you got two web pages open in two separate windows, then this will work. If you want to swap through the same tabs in the same window, this won't work, but it's okay. You can control tab and you can just move around. This is the standard Firefox shortcut available on all versions. It doesn't matter what OS you're running on, control tab works. So to cycle through the windows of a program, you gotta use the Alt and the key that is above the tab button, like that. And to cycle through apps, you gotta use AltTab. And now this also shows you the preview of the window that is running. To see the preview, all you gotta do is press the down arrow key and you get this preview. This preview is a real-time preview, so it gets refreshed every time. So even if you're even if you're playing a movie, let's say in a VLC player, you can see that in a preview here. Let me demonstrate. As you can see, the animations of the slider on this web page of Rebellin is changing along. Yeah, there it goes. So this preview is real time. It changes, and you can cycle through these even using your arrow keys. So Alt Tab, press your down arrow key, you get a preview. Alt Tab, press your down arrow key, you get a preview. Alt Tab and press your down arrow key, you can cycle through the preview, or directly to with the key that is above the tab button, you can cycle just like that. Simple. So the next I would like to tell you about the Alt F2 command. If you wish to run an app, you can just press Alt and F2 and you can get this error command. It tells you to error command. And you can press any command here. For example, I'm going to show you quickly. Let's say you would wish to reload Gnome Shell, so just press R and enter. This should reload Gnome Shell completely. Okay, the Gnome Shell has been reloaded along with all the apps. Pretty cool. So to get the run dialog box, you gotta press Alt and F2 and you get this a little window here where you can enter anything, and it should probably run if nothing goes wrong. And to close this window, if you don't want to use it, you can just press escape. Escape works everywhere. Even if you wish to close any prompts, you can press the escape key to close it. Okay, so next let me introduce to you the top panel of Gnome Shell. You got this top panel over here. This is the main panel of Gnome Shell. You got activities button on the left. Now center we got a calendar and your time. So if you click on that, you get a calendar. You can get all your appointments on the right side. Pretty cool. You can click to close it, or you can even press escape key to close it. Escape, as I told you. You can close every dialog box. You got these notifications icons over here, and finally you got your user menu. User menu of Gnome Shell is pretty peculiar. Let me show you. And you got the suspend button over here. Now the suspend button over here has been changed to power off in the latest version of Gnome Shell, but right now I'm running 3.4, so I don't have it. So if you don't have it and you need to power off, well, press your Alt key and you get the power off option, and you can select that to just power off your computer. So press your Alt key to get your power off, release to get this suspend button. Now we're going to click on the activities icon. You can click here and it brings you to the overview screen. Now this is called as in overview screen because it gives you an overview of all the activities that are running, basically the programs that are running on the current workspace. So on the left hand side you got this dock, you got this small previews of the apps that are currently running. On the right hand side you got these workspaces. So currently you got 2, and there'll always be 2 because Gnome Shell adds a workspace as and when needed, just in time. So on the right hand side you got these workspaces. On the center panel you got these apps that are running, small previews, and you can just click and it pops up. Let's minimize this. And on the left hand side we got this dock or dash, whatever you want to call it, and over on the top we got these 2 buttons. We got Windows and we got applications. You can click on applications and you can just browse through all the installed apps right here. You get on the right hand side, when you click on applications, the workspaces disappear and you get these categories of these applications. You can just pick a category by clicking on it and you get the apps that are present in that category. Or you can just click on all to get all the apps listed at one screen itself. Now on the right hand side top here you got this search bar. So just in case you are lazy to just scroll to the app, or you are not able to find the app that you want, you can just type here and the application should update automatically and give you the app that you need. So let's say I'm going to type Blender and it should show me Blender. There. You got Blender right over there. So you're back at the overview of the apps that are running. So there are 3 ways you can get to the screen. You can click on the activities button here and you can get this overview. Now this on the top left hand side corner, this is called as a hotspot. So you can just move your mouse on the top left hand screen. You get the small ripple effect here. You can come to this overview screen again and you can just go there again to close it. So just go there to open it, go there to close it. Simple as that. And if you're using it, if you want to access this overview screen with a keyboard, you gotta press Alt and F1, and Alt and F1 to close it again, Alt and F1 to open it, or you can also press Escape to close it, no problem. Now there's another key to get to this app. It's the system key or the super key or the key that has the Windows logo on it. You just tap it and get to the overview, tap it again to close the overview. So these are the 3 ways you can access the overview screen of Gnome Shell. I'm going to show you some more things about the overview screen. Sorry, this tutorial is getting really long, but I like to go into detail. So we're back in the overview screen. I'm going to show you small things here. So this is a dash or the dock, whatever you want to call it, and these are the basically you can just change these icons. These are your favorite things that you wish to use. You can just drag your apps into this. Let's say you wish to use Blender frequently, so you can just click on Blender and just drag it, and it gets magically added in the dash, and the dash gets smaller so that it can occupy, so that all the apps can be occupied in it. And if you let's say if you wish to remove an icon from the dash, just click on the icon and just drag this. See, as you can see that there is a trash can icon has opened up here. You can just drag your app icon into the trash can and it will be removed magically. You get a small hint here. Blender has been removed from your favorites. You can undo if you want. Well, if you don't want, just let the information box go. As you can see that the dash has grown in size, and this is one of the feature of the dash. The second one is that if you wish to launch an icon, you just gotta click on it. I mean, come on, that's a no-brainer. So if you click on it, it will open that app if it is not opened. And if the app is already opened, as you can see, Firefox is open and there's this white shade right below it over here. So you can see that the Firefox is open. So if I click on it, it will basically bring the Firefox window on screen, as you can see, this one. Or let's say I was using this one and then I go back. So basically this was the last use window of that app. So when you click on an open app, it's going to bring the last use window in front of your screen like this. Yeah, so you get the point here. Then if you wish to open an app into a new workspace here, well, use your middle mouse button, MMB. Now I'm gonna press the middle mouse button. Middle mouse button is the scroll wheel. You gotta press it between. So let's say I would like to open the file browser. I'll click with the middle mouse button, and this is opened up in a new workspace. Let me go into over screen. As you can see that this has actually opened in a new workspace, and there is a third workspace has been dynamically added into these workspace menu. Gnome Shell, as I previously told you, adds work shell as and when needed, so these are dynamically added. So I can just close this using this close key here. When I close this, Gnome Shell will also close this workspace, because by default in Gnome Shell you get only 2 workspaces, and as required, workspace can be added dynamically. So I'm going to close this here. Okay, as you can see, the workspace has closed and we got 2 back. So I'll just go back to the previous workspace, and here we are on the previous one. Right-clicking on an application that's running will display a menu with window titles for selecting one of the windows. So let's right-click on the Firefox here, and you can see that it is basically showing the windows that are open. So this is Adrenaline first run, that is this tutorial that is there in the Firefox here, and this is YouTube. So on the right hand side you can see that there's a new window of Firefox running YouTube, so you can just select them and it should bring it on in the front. Now let's select YouTube. Alright, we got YouTube. So let's right click again and let's select the previous one. Let's select Adrenaline first run tutorial. Okay, we got Adrenaline right on front. So when you right click, you get an option which window you wish to select, and that window will be brought to the front for you to view. Simple. Now control clicking on an application icon will open up a new window of that application in the current workspace. So for the time being, I'm going to open up a file browser in a new workspace, because this is all really crowded. So I've opened up a new workspace here. We got this file browser in this new workspace, and now I'm going to open a new window of the same file browser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control key and click on this, and there you go. You got the second instance of the file browser. Now why do I need to control click? Because if you go with a normal click, it will just bring this window in the front like this, but we need to open a new instance of the same application. So I'm going to press Control, I'm going to click, and kaboom, a new instance of the same app is opened, a new window, not an instance, because some applications cannot be opened up as multiple instances. You cannot open 2 gyms, you cannot open 2 blenders and something like that. You get the point. You can just, if you don't like the arrangement of these icons the way it is, you can just move these icons around, and they can just they can just swap places amongst themselves. Let's say I'm gonna move it on top. Alright, so these are the windows that are currently open in this workspace. You can just move these windows into new workspace if you want. Let's say that let's move each one to a new workspace. Let's move this LibreOffice Writer to a new one, and it is over here. Although you cannot see the preview right now, but it has been added. Let's move this to a new one. Let's move here. Let's move it here. There. Now, why cannot you see these? Why cannot you see previews over here? Why? Because these windows, these apps are basically in, they were minimized in this workspace. For example, we have just dragged a system monitor here. So if we click on this workspace, it's not there because it's in a minimized fashion. Let me show you that with an AltTab. I can See the system monitor here, and there it pops out. So it was minimized. Now that it is in, it has been restored on the screen. And when I go into the workspaces, you can see the previews over here. Oops, sorry. Okay, so you can see the previews right over here, and the workspace have been dynamically added. Let me just bring all these windows back to our original workspace. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna bring them back here. This is really intuitive. I really like this. I don't know why people hate Gnome Shell. Okay, I got this 4 apps right in the middle. There's one more nice thing you can do here is, let's say if you wish to see this in a slightly zoomed manner, you just take your mouse cursor on the window and just scroll the scroll wheel. Yeah, scroll the scroll wheel, and you see the apps just zooms in, and just scroll it backwards and it will just take its own place. You can just zoom in, zoom it back, zoom in, zoom it back. When you click on the app is restored and you can now edit it. I can go back to the overview mode, and I'm right now here, and if I click on this app, the overview mode will close and I'll basically be inside this app this way. Next, if you wish to start an app in a new workspace directly, what you can do is you can just click on an icon and drag it to a new workspace. And there, it has opened up. Now the difference between clicking on an icon and dragging it to a new workspace is that when you click on an icon, the app basically opens up right in front of your eyes, but when you drag an icon right to a workspace, it opens up in the workspace, but you stay in the overview mode. The overview mode does not close. Unlike in clicking, when you click, the overview mode closes. So that's the difference between dragging an icon on a workspace and just directly clicking on it. So simple as that. So this is very useful if you wish to open multiple apps and multiple workspaces immediately after opening your computer and organizing your work. This is really useful. There is one very useful feature for people who love to operate their computers with their keyboard. There is something called as the accessibility switcher. You can just you can select every section of a UI that you can see on your screen using your keyboard, so that you can navigate the entire user interface that you can see on the screen using your keyboard. So the shortcut for the accessibility switcher is Control Alt and Tab. So Control Alt Tab, and it has given me options that where I would like the focus to go, whether I wish to change some elements on the top bar, in the dash, on the windows, in the applications, or the search bar. So let's say I wish to select the top bar, so I should keep the focus right there, and I'll just close this. And as you can see with the arrow keys, I'm actually maneuvering through these elements that are present on the top bar. So I can change the volume maybe. I can even open up the Bluetooth with my arrow keys. You can do that. I can change the accessibility settings. I can read the battery. I can go in the user menu, and I can just press escape to close. If I wish to browse anywhere on the UI, again, I'll have to do the Control Alt Tab combination. And if I wish to go through the icons on the dash, I'll just select dash. And there, with the arrow keys, I can just select and icons over here. Pretty simple. Control Alt Tab again. Let's say I wish to go with the windows, and just a moment. If I wish to go in applications, and here I am in the applications. If I wish to go back in the window mode, I go back in the window mode. And then finally there's the search bar. I think I've already shown you the search bar. You can just search for stuff here. So this is the accessibility feature, and the cheat sheet warns that the accessibility switcher is not yet fully functional. I don't know, I find it really useful. So you can just try it and see whether it works or not for you. It works pretty well for me. There's one really simple yet very useful feature of Gnome Shell. Let me show that to you. I've got two windows open here. I got LibreOffice Writer and I got Inkscape. I'll just maximize both of them. Okay, so I got these two, and this feature of Gnome Shell, what it does is it basically divides your screen in two parts, and so that you can have each of these apps taking half of the screen each. You might think that this is hardly anything, but if you're working, if you're programming, or graphics designing, or you need some data from another app and you have to divide the screen into half. It's a chore to just take your screen on the right side and then pull your screen to take the shape. It's a chore. So Gnome developers have added a really nice functionality. All you gotta do is select the title bar of the window and drag it way on the right side. Okay, so you can see that translucent blue box is surrounding half the screen. That is, it shows that that's the space that this app is going to use when it becomes half of the screen. So I'll just release my mouse button. Okay, there, it has taken exactly the half of the screen space. And now I'm going to take the other app and do the same thing on the left side. Your cursor needs to go to the edge of the screen for this to get activated. So if I handle way on the right side of the title bar, I have to push it way on the left, and there. As you can see, both the apps have taken exactly half of the space, and yeah, pretty good. So you can work on both apps simultaneously, and that's it. If you wish to just maximize it, just double click and you're done. So a very simple yet effective feature of Gnome Shell. Now there is one more really amazing feature of Gnome Shell, and that is screen recording for screencasting purposes. The shortcut for screen recording is Control, Shift, Alt, and R. And screencasting starts. So as you can see on the bottom right hand side of my screen, there is this red colored orb. So this shows that basically that you are recording your screen. So the screencasting has started. And whatever you record, it appears into your videos folder over here. So this is where it should appear. It has already started writing the file, so I can see that, but it's not fully ready yet. So we're going to stop the recording for the time being. Let's just stop the recording. The same key combination will stop it. Control Shift Alt and R, and there the symbol has vanished. And let's check it out. Let me play that recording for you. It should be available to us. Okay, there it is. And as you can see, this has started. So this is our screen recording that we did. As you can see, the cursor is on the top bottom right side, and the orb that I had pointed it doesn't appear in recording. Pretty nice touch there. And it records everywhere. Okay, it's doing pretty well. Okay, I'll close this. Now you get the point here. The extension of this file is WebM, so it is a web optimized movie. Basically it renders very well on WebKit engine. Now as far as I know, this doesn't really record audio, so it only records video. But if you're using this utility, I don't think audio would really be that much of a problem, because you can go in applications, sound and video, and you can record audio in Sound Recorder and simultaneously screencast using this shortcut key Control Shift Alt and R, and then just fuse both of them together in a video editor, something like OpenShot, and then you got a screencast right there. So that's it. Now there are some developer tools available in Gnome Shell. I'm going to take a look at those. So in order to have to start those developer tools, what you're going to do is start the run prompt with Alt and F2. You get this enter command prompt. This is basically similar to the run prompt in Windows. Now there is a JavaScript integrated JavaScript inspector tool available for you. It's called as Looking Glass. So to start that, all you got to do is enter LG for Looking Glass, and that's your JavaScript inspector tool. I haven't used it as yet because I haven't really written an extension, but if you're a programmer and you're developing for GNOME, let's say you're developing extensions or UI or whatever, then this tool is really useful. If you wish to close that, well, you can just press the escape key and it goes. Now there are multiple utilities that you can start with Alt F2 command. If you wish to restart the Gnome Shell, let's say you have built up a theme and you have installed the theme and you wish to see that how it works, then you can just press R and it will restart the Gnome Shell. If you wish only to restart the theme, then just go for RT and it would restart the theme. It will only restart the theme and not the entire shell. These are some of the utilities that are available in Gnome Shell. Now I'm going to show you how to customize Gnome Shell for your liking. We all know that Gnome Shell is very difficult to customize because a lot of options are not present in this one the way they were in the older Gnome environment. In this iteration they are not there. They've just made it really simple, but then customizations are really difficult. So there is this really beautiful tool. It's called Advanced Setting Tool. And now this gives you a horde of options for customizing Gnome Shell to your liking. You'll really like it. So these are the categories. Let's select desktop. If you wish to have these icons enabled on the desktop and right click, all you gotta do is have file manager handle desktop, just turn this on. And okay, there we got our icons right here, and right click works pretty easily. Okay, the right click is working. So you get this by turning this option on. Then there are multiple options on the left hand side. We got files, so always use location entry instead of path bar. So let me show that to you quickly. Okay, so we are in my home folder. These are the this is called as the path bar. So when I open up, so this is the path bar. It just tells you where you are currently located. So if you turn this on, you get this location entry. You get this entire path rather than a path bar. So I don't really like it this way. I prefer to turn it off so that I can click here and just move around. So I like it this way. So anyway, you can just turn it on. There are multiple options here. Fonts is a very useful thing. You can just change fonts. Very, very, very useful. I just enjoy playing with the fonts to make my Gnome Shell look pretty easy on the eye. In Shell, you got multiple things. You can change the date, you can show time with seconds and whatnot. You can just go through this. I'm not gonna give you a rundown. It's very easy to understand. Shell extensions, if you're installing extensions from the Gnome website, they are all listed over here. Now these are the extensions that come pre-installed with Rebellin, so they are just listed here. You can just turn them on and off to suit yourself. But these are really important and pretty good one. They improve the usability much. I mean, the usability improves much better. So I recommend you to turn this all on if you're using Rebellin Adrenaline. Theme settings are really important. You can change window theme, like the one that I'm using right now here. This is the Rebellin Borrow theme, and you can have menus have icons enabled and buttons have icons enabled. Buttons have icons. Let me show that to you quickly. I'll just open some app. Okay, let's say open Arrow Remove Software. As you can see in this apply button, there's this cute little icon here, and on the cancel there's an icon here. Even on the clear there's an icon here. So to enable these, you need to have that buttons have icons enabled from here. You can change cursor theme, you can change key binding theme. The icon theme that I'm currently using, this one, this beautiful icon set, Faenza, it has been enabled from the icon theme. And finally, Windows. So these are self-explanatory options, so you can just go through these. So this advanced setting tool is very important. I'm going to show you how to install it. Just go in your applications, accessories, and start root terminal. Okay, so I had given a password previously, so it's giving me this information. So anyway, we are on the root terminal now. All you gotta do is go with apt-get install gnome tweak tool. So this advanced setting tool is called as Gnome Tweak tool. So just go with apt-get install Gnome Tweak tool, press enter key, and it should install it for you now. It's already installed in Rebellin Adrenaline, so I don't have to do that. So it's saying Gnome Tweak tool is already in the newest version, no problem. So I'm gonna exit it, exit the root terminal. Now you understand what that advanced setting tool is called, Gnome Tweak tool. Install it. It will make your Gnome life easier. I recommend you to do that. And lastly, I'm going to tell you the last tweak that you can do to your Gnome environment. Last tweak that I know, a lot of people know different tweaks. Okay, so this is the title bar of the window, and by default Gnome gives you only the close button here. Now I really miss my minimize, maximize, and close button, and a small menu button here that gives menu like always on top, which I frequently use. So to get them, there is a very easy to do tweak. So just go to applications, then open up dconf editor. Now go in desktop, no, not desktop, maybe org. Yeah, go in org, then open up Gnome, and scroll way down. You'll find shell. Open up that entry. Now you got this overrides here. So all you gotta do is in this button layout, just double click to edit this key. Okay, I'm inside, and just write menu colon minimize comma maximize comma close, and just press enter key, and there you got them. You got minimize, maximize, and close, and it works pretty nice, but it's not here. So anyway, we'll just I've just opened it with control AltTab, I'm sorry, and you got menu here, and you got maximize button, and This is applicable towards all windows, so now your GNOME environment becomes really easy to handle. Now let me just show you some of the extensions that I've got. I'll just enable those. Now these extensions are pre-installed. I'm telling you that multiple times because I really want you to download Rebellin Adrenaline and give it a try because it's so nice. You'll seriously love it. Show desktop extension, alternative status menu, axe menu, very important. Workspace indicator, window list, advanced settings in user menu. Jump list I don't use, so user theme extension, battery remaining percentage. Okay, I've enabled everything. Now I got this beautiful menu here. I got this show desktop, so if things are open I just click here and everything minimizes. I've got this window list extension here which also gives you a preview, so whatever you minimize it goes here like the previous GNOME panel. So when you minimize it goes into the panel, again very useful. It indicates your workspace. You know, previously you didn't know where you were if you're traversing your workspaces. Now it indicates here. Now I'm currently I'm on the first workspace. It shows you the battery percentage, how much it's charging. So with this top arrow means that it's charging up and it's on 59% right now. It will take 59 minutes to charge it entirely. And the advanced setting tool that I showed you, it now appears in the user menu right here, advanced settings. So you can just so it's easily accessible. And yeah, so this is your menu now, and the whole GNOME environment has become extremely useful, and I enjoy it this way. This is the way I have set it up for my Linux distribution, Rebellin Adrenaline. I want you to download it. Please give it a try. It won't disappoint you, and I also give email support to everyone. So download it, and that was a short tutorial for you today. If you have something to add, please comment, because I really wish to know things that perhaps even I have missed. So go ahead, enjoy GNOME 3. I enjoyed, it's pretty good. Namaste to you.